Good morning, y'all. It's Timothy. It is officially 5:44 a.m., but let's say it's 555. Oh, it just turned into 555 as I speak. For the sake of angel numbers, 555 means release all doubts and fears. This is just me telling you, ironically, for the sake of this video, stop fucking being anti-confident. You're just fucking your life up. Do you know how many people I've met where they were younger and they were like, oh my god, I'm so ugly, I'm so fat, I'm so stupid, and they stop taking care of themselves and they hate themselves, and time goes on and they look back at old photos and they're like, oh, actually, I was pretty cute. Why did I do this to myself? Now I look worse. I had a friend recently. I think she's about 20 by now. And it's wild to know time has changed. I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm like a big sister to her, but it felt like a nice little internet cousin or big little sister. And I remember she would tell me growing up how her mom used to always shit on her, shit on her, shit on her looks, and how she thought that she was some big fucking massive land whale. I was like, girl, you are perfectly fine. Like, you are perfectly adorable. There's nothing wrong with your weight. You're fine. And on top of, like, she'd be like, I don't know, I feel like I need to get a like diet or like stop eating. I feel like I could even just convince myself to throw up. I was like, don't do it. Whatever you do, don't get an eating disorder. And I said, because trust me, it's like, I get it, the world's a terrible place to people who weigh more or look different, but like nothing is worse than having clumps and clumps of your hair fall out and waking up in pain from your bones just fucking giving up on you, and missing periods or getting even worse periods, or like your teeth hurt all the time and you just start looking like your eyes get sullen like a Junji Ito character. You age faster, everything hurts all the time. And even then, ironically, and also if it doesn't do it, to tell them that if they were to starve themselves, they would like lose hair and their body would hurt all the time. I also tell them, funny enough, if you also starve yourself, it fucks up your metabolism. So if you stopped eating for like a week and then like ate again, even the smallest thing, your metabolism would go, oh shit, we better make the most out of this small bit of food we got so we can stay plump, because your body thinks that it's like you're in a fucking, I don't know, lost situation where you're on a plane crash and starving on some island. So it's like, oh shit, this girl only ate what, like a few baby carrots and some ranch after like 7 days. We should like instantly turn this into fat so that she can like bulk up again. So you're just gonna gain weight even faster if you try to starve yourself. And she was like, oh shit, that sucks, bet. And so she didn't. But it still was hard. And of course it was. And now, like years later, now that she's not like 14, 15, 16, she's looking back on her life and it's like, wow, my mom was my biggest hater. I was a perfectly beautiful young lady. She was the one who was constantly insulting me, but ironically never putting like fruits or veggies in the house, just endless like meat and pizza rolls and bullshit and like sugary drinks. It's like she never like, and that's the shit that I don't like. Like, I'm just saying, it's like I got lucky from a young age myself where I spent a scary amount of time alone. And then on top of that, I knew from a young age, I was like, my mom's fucking stupid and a weirdo. I knew my siblings were psychopathic little weirdos in their own different ways. And I knew that I had myself to fend on for a very long time for my emotional development. So I kind of like, I'll put it this way, if I'm going to be my own best friend and the only one I'm around, I might as well enjoy my company and like myself. I find it so sad when I meet people who don't like themselves, but I'm realizing how common it is, and it scares me. I feel so heartbroken whenever I meet someone who's like a masterpiece and then they hate themselves. It's like, what? And like, I remember Mitchell specifically for Christmas. I remember I told him, I was like, yeah, most of the year sucked for me in 2024 because I kept meeting insecure people who were making it my issue that they didn't like themselves and projecting and being toxic. And I don't know, I told him admittedly, I said, I don't fucking like people who are insecure anymore, because it takes too much energy to not like yourself, and it's just stupid. Like, why? And he paused for a bit in a way that made me go, oh, let me guess, you don't like yourself either? And he said, it's a lot harder to like yourself than you think. And I said, oh really? Like, why not? Like, you seem like you got everything. Like, I'll put it this way, it's like I'm sitting there, I'm not saying he's never had issues in his life, but I am saying it's like, okay, nigga, you're 6'5", you're physically in shape, you're very active, you eat healthy, you're very attractive, very intelligent, very smart, very like extremely fucking funny, and like I'll put it. And also, you have an 8.5-inch penis and huge balls and very nice hips. Oh, and his legs. I just kegeled. Sorry. Sorry. I'm just, he was fine as fuck. Oh, I liked that man a lot. Too bad he was evil. But I was like, why don't you like yourself? And he just said, I don't know. It's like, and he just explained that sometimes it's the shit your parents say and feed into your mind that it's hard to unbreak the pattern because it's like they made you believe your whole life from a young age that your fate and your destiny was to be a lame ass piece of shit or that you weren't as impressive as you thought and nothing was ever going to be enough. I find that sad. It makes me so sad. Oh, but as I was saying about my other friend, yeah, she looked back on her life and she was like, I should have been kinder to myself. And that happened with my mother. It happened with my older brother's ex girlfriend. It happened with so many people. And I remember I witnessed it from a young age. So I remembered it's like, okay, I should probably make sure I'm kinder to myself than I think because it's probably all just in my head. Even recently, I've been gaining weight and that's fine because it's like I've been laying on my floor drinking endless amounts of caffeine, sugar, alcohol, and Jack in the Box munchie meals and random bullshit outside. It makes sense that it's like, okay, I'm not gonna be built like Pamela Anderson or Jane Mansfield right now. But you know what? Like, I still kind of slay. It's like, if you look at me, it's like, okay, like, I'm still extremely thin and extremely cute. It's just like, okay, I got a bit of a pouch. Not a big one, but just enough. It's like, okay, when I sit, there are rolls. Am I gonna be sad about them? No, because I'm delicious. I'm high quality rolls. Like if you went to Texas Roadhouse with the cinnamon butter, yeah, that's me. Niggas eat my shit up. And I've been getting more in my head about it because I thought to myself, no, I don't want to be built like my stupid ass mother. Oh no, I'm fine with her giving me the titties gene. I was hoping my dad's waistline genes would last longer. But you know what? I was like, you know what? I'll be different from her. I'm gonna still like myself despite being fat. Because it's like she got fat and she decided to hate herself. And that's another reason she went on a huge decline over the course of her life. You can even see the difference in how she takes care of herself. Not just because she had 3 kids, which is understand like, but it's more just in like, she used to doll herself up a lot. And it just kind of sucks that it's like she stopped because she just thought she was too fat to look good in anything. And, it makes sense. She was like the heroin chic bullshit that was fed upon us in the 90s. It makes sense that someone wouldn't like themselves. I'm glad we live in the modern era where it's like, hey, guess what? There's plus sized women modeling for Fenty Beauty and getting tons of praise and have millions of social media followers and stuff and brand deals. I'm happy we are getting to that timeline and I hope it sticks around. Oh, but as I was saying, I've been gaining weight and I've been fine with it. And then even when I have gotten in my head recently, like I'll put it this way, I've came out of one of the most recent, deepest, darkest depressions I've had in ages, if not ever. Like I don't know, I've been depressed at multiple points in my life, but this was the one where it's like fucking almost a full year, like really bad. Like it's just been fucking it's on the uptick though. It's on the uptick. And you know what? I remember I've been telling myself, "Oh, my hair is fucked up. Oh no, like I'm getting sunspots. Oh, my dark circles. Oh, this and that and the other." But then I decided I don't give a fuck, and I decided I'm gonna leave my house regardless of if people see me or how they see me. And so I remember I got dressed and I just threw on this fucking random ass dress I had, and this random like cardigan and a beret. And I left my house, and I shit you not, when I left my house, it was like a big, like, block party going on. And when I left my house, not everybody, but like most people on the street turned their head to look at me. And at first I was like, why are they doing that? Until I realized, oh, right, it's a golden hour. So the sun was shining on me just right. And I looked like some sort of fucking angel out of heaven because me walking through the crowds, it was like parting the Red Sea. It was like, holy fucking shit. Okay. I must not be as busted as I think. And I went to this fucking food stand for some Jamaican food, and I told Buddy, I was like, hey, how much for like 2 pieces of chicken, some red beans and rice, and a piece of snapper? He said 24, and I was like, oh, sounds good, thank you. And because it was like block party food, expensive. But either way, guess what? He gave me the shock of my life. This nigga wanted to be. I love when niggas flirt or like seduce like this, especially if they cook. I love men who cook. Oh my god. This nigga gave me 3 pieces of snapper, like 2 pieces of chicken, a lot of red beans and rice, some fucking plantain, and then also some motherfucking collard greens, and I think something, but it was like, like he stacked that shit up high. I was smiling and geeked as fuck. I was like, ooh, nigga, don't do this one more time and I might just have to marry you. Uh-oh. I like that. I was so fucking happy. And I got home, and also then I walked through the crowd, and I like niggas kept trying to holler at me or staring at me. It was beautiful. And I just thought to myself, wow, maybe it is just in my head that people don't find me attractive. Like, yeah, kind of confirmed by the fact that it's like niggas act like I'm a supermodel. I've been told endlessly to get into modeling. It's a lot harder than you think, and also I hate modeling. But you know, I'm just saying, it's like it feels good. And then other incidences have been happening. Like, hell, I had similar shit like yesterday and today. I've been trying to practice getting out the house more, not just being stuck inside. Because, how am I going to get better if I don't allow myself to get out my comfort zone? So I went out today, and I've been telling myself recently, I thought to myself, make getting out feel like an occasion. Get nice and dolled up, put on your favorite lip gloss, do your skincare, and like and then toss on like any random dress you've got with a cardigan, and like bring some little stuff with you and just fucking dip and see where the world takes you. And you know what? It's been really fucking nice because like it just feels great. And funny enough, I went out today, and I also told myself, let's practice our social skills. Like, let's practice like having a nice, pleasant expression, and then making eye contact with strangers and saying hello, even if it makes me nervous. Just to like get in the practice of it. Like, let's try. And then if they don't say hello back, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Just practice being friendly. And so I put on this nice, beautiful all red outfit, red dress, red duster, or like red, I don't know, one of those cheap flyaway coats. You know what I mean? Some sandals, and I put on some like nice antique gold earrings and a necklace I had in my red beret, and I walked around, and I got so many compliments that it actually seemed absurd. Like, I was walking down the street, and this woman was like, "You look very beautiful. You look so pretty." And like next thing you know, I'd have dudes and men left and right being like, "Hey there, gorgeous. Ooh, you look good. Mm-hmm. Looking snackable, edible. Oh, hey girl, you look fucking good. You always dress so elegant and classy when I see you." And people, and like, I think it was like 7 different people complimented me, and it was like, holy shit, this feels good. It felt nice. It's like, oh, okay, maybe there are good people on this planet. Maybe life is worth living, and it's nice. And then I went out, and then it was really nice. And then, funny enough, I went to the craft store today, and I was looking at sketchbooks, and I thought to myself, I don't know if I can afford these because like prices went up. Like, books that were $2.99 online were $12.99 in person. I was like, what the fuck? So I went to the bathroom, came back. There was this guy in an aisle, and he was looking at me, and I just thought to myself, oh, okay, let me, instead of looking away with the blank expression, let me just like look him in the eye and say, good morning, and then walk past, to practice making the world kind place too, and build up those social skills and my confidence. And you know what happened? One thing led to another. And this man went from, yeah, sketchbooks are getting so expensive these days, right? To next thing you know, he asked me for my number, and I thought, okay, you know what? Let me try. And I said, ooh, sure. Out of curiosity, will you help me get a sketchbook? And then he was like, yeah, sure, fuck it. And I went for like a medium-sized one because I thought to myself, I don't know how wealthy this dude is. I also forgot his job when he told me in passive. I knew he made money, but I didn't know how much, and he did just say sketchbooks were expensive. But I was like, how about this one? Or, and I reached for a big one, and I tapped my nails on it and said, or do you think I deserve something like this? And he said, yeah, go for it. And he gave it to me. And it was very sweet. And then he also was like, I love when men do this. He was like, so is there anything else you'd like? And I was like, ooh, I'd love some watercolors. And I got a nice little tray of watercolors too. I don't know if he could have actually afforded it. Because like, I'll put it this way. Maybe he just came to his senses about other stuff he wanted to buy. I don't know. I don't care. All I know is this nigga used some store credit to get my items, and he could have definitely still paid for his own items of like a t-shirt and some markers that weren't very expensive, but I don't know. In that moment, he was like, you know what? A hot 24-year-old's phone number is much more than an overpriced $14 t-shirt and like some paint pens. And he made the right choice. And it was nice. And then even the worker lady who was there, she felt sweet, and she gave me a Snickers bar just because that was like for free. I don't know if she knew that he didn't pay for it or not, or if she truly was just being nice. I think she even saw in the terminal that he did not ring it up. But you know what? Hey, thank you, lady. I was super grateful. And yeah, and funny enough, he hasn't messaged me. Or maybe he did and it just hasn't gone through because I've been having phone issues. But regardless, like, that just felt good. It felt like, I don't know. Like, I get in my head sometimes. And it's weird because how do I put this? I'm one of the few people on this planet who usually has extremely unshakable, like, self esteem. Even though I know you could be like, but Timidity, what about those times you settled for terrible men? Oh, that's just because I like seeing the good in people, even if they're not the best. But then sometimes I have to remind myself, oh, wait a minute, I'm a bad bitch. I don't have to deal with this shitty ass broke nigga or this dude who's built like a bus driver and or like the bus. I could just go out and, like, find someone better. And then I usually do. And I'm also getting a lot better at knowing when to leave. Because that is another aspect that does tie into self-esteem, is knowing when to leave certain people behind. Because as much as I love people, sometimes they don't love you back. And it's like, all right, that hurts. But you know what? I can just drop you off and focus on myself. And I've worked on that, so now it's like, okay, you know what? The joy and bliss of being alone and walking around by myself and stumbling into new people is better than staying at home and having the same shitty conversations with the same shitty friends and neglect. You know what I mean? But I guess I'm just saying it's like, and also it's so another reason is that I have stayed friends with some people longer than I needed to because I knew they didn't like themselves. And you think, oh, maybe I could just show them, like I've shown other people, that they are lovable, that they are sweet, that they are indeed great. But sometimes it doesn't happen. So sometimes you'll date someone and you'll think to yourself, like, oh, I can't believe this guy doesn't like himself. Well, hopefully with the power of compliments and, like, stuff, I can raise their self-esteem. Sometimes raising someone's self-esteem doesn't always work out. Sometimes they just get cocky and try to cheat on you. Sometimes they do abusive things because they still have some sort of evil attached to their brain, funny enough, rooting from any original self-esteem. So it didn't matter how many times I told a certain ex that his eyes are beautiful like a painting, and I'm glad he got them framed for me when he puts on his glasses. And sure, it made him wear his glasses, but he still couldn't see what I saw in him in the mirror, and he still couldn't see why I liked him, and he still couldn't see what he had with me in a positive light. And so he had to lose me. That's what he fucking deserves. I don't regret anything about how I left that man. He was terrible. The only regret I have is ever entertaining him. But, I'll put it this way. He is the type of person that will fuck up his life on his own accord, so let me not stress myself out by imagining things to happen to him. But, it would be nice if he got hit by a car. I'm just saying. Anyway, and I have a buddy of mine, I actually just cut them off today. I've done it before, but today I just was. I'll put it this way. I just thought to myself, I like people who like themselves. And this nigga is, like, he's the type of dude where he always complained about no one liking him, everyone hating him, blah, blah, blah. And I would try to be a support system, but even then, I remember this specific moment where I could tell he just hated me for, like, out of a sick envy. Like, there were moments leading up to it, but it was his party. It was his, like, celebration party, not his birthday, but celebrating him being sober for the most part. And all of our comedian friends were there and stuff. Some left to go to another open mic, some were still there. And I remember that I told him, I was like, hey, like, he was on stage and he was doing that thing again where he gets on stage and instead of telling jokes, he just tells everyone to go fuck themselves and that he's better than them and yada yada. And I've told him before that doesn't work, and I've had to tell him eventually that it's like, you're not telling jokes, you're just getting on stage and telling everyone to go fuck themselves. It's no wonder people aren't taking you seriously, booking you, or putting you on stage. Now, it took a while for me to actually build up and say that. I think I said that in smaller doses, but then later on, it, like, after this moment, I just ripped off the band-aid with him because he was pissing me off. But this is what happened. He did tell a few jokes on stage. They were very terrible. He's the type of man where he'll just kind of make something up and then call other people idiots for not knowing what it is. Or he'll reference something too vague, like a book from the 1800s, or like a chapter of Odysseus or Oedipus or whatever the fuck, or the Odyssey. Yeah, that's what I call it. Or he'll just reference, like, some niche Charles Dickens or what's something else he does? Safeway Catholic. I've met tons of Catholic people and dated them, and none of them know what that means except for him. I even asked Google and ChatGPT at some point, and they were like, "We've never heard this sentence in our fucking life." But he claims that everyone else is just an idiot. Whatever, Seamus. But respectfully, he got on stage and he was flopping and floundering, and and he was about to get off stage early because I could tell he was gonna do that. He shows signals. I just kind of, like, as he's trying to leave the stage and he's doing the, anyway, I think I'm about to wrap that up for me. Give it up. And like, I just kind of mouth this one specific joke his direction that I've been telling him to do for months, because every single time he said it, like, people have fallen out in laughter. But he's never performed it for some fucking reason. It's his most natural, fluid joke. So then he saw me in the audience and he was like, Tamia, what are you mouthing my direction? And I said, trans joke. And he was like, huh? Trans joke. Oh, haha, that. And then he says, okay, fine, here's my joke. And this is the joke. He says, I work as a door guy for a gay bar. And, I'm a tall, straight white man, so people already don't like me. And this trans woman, she comes up to me drunk and she's angry because I won't let her into the bar because she's wasted off her ass. And she takes it personally and she shouts, people like you are the reason people like me die in these streets. And so I looked at her and I said, you're right. Irish people really shouldn't drive drunk. And then the crowd heard that joke and, like, they all slowly built up into a huge roaring laughter. Because, and also for context, Seamus is Irish, but I'm sure you guessed because his name is Seamus. But either way, it was fucking funny. And you know what made it even, but it's like, it was such a good moment, and I was really happy for him because it's one of his jokes. It's a great fucking joke. Amazing, actually. But you know what happened? Instead of him being proud of himself and going, oh, look, that joke I said that I knew worked but didn't want to say out loud because I thought it wouldn't subconsciously because I have issues, it was actually amazing. Like, wow, I should, like, instead, he just death glared at me across the whole fucking bar as if he wanted to kill me. And that stuck with me. And let's just say other things with him have led to that. And it's like, I'll put it this way. Eventually, you get tired of pouring into somebody who's not pouring into you. It's like, yeah, where was he when I was suffering in 2024? He was not there in the way he needed to be. He was dismissive. He was an asshole. He was a cunt. And yeah, and it's like, I'm just saying, he was not that good of a guy. So he will be remembered as such. And I tried to give him hope, but recently I've just been like, you know what? I don't like the type of person who's going to leave me on red for days and days and days, and I send them messages, and then they only call me or message me once a blue moon to talk about whatever they want to talk about. And yeah, I just thought to myself, let's let that nigga keep going to therapy and AA and work on himself, because I'm fucking tired, nigga. I don't know. I get so sad when people don't like themselves, because it'll be like a masterpiece of a person. Like, for example, the terrible guy I dated last year, I just remembered that a big thing I liked about him was that he cooked. He was the type of guy that would make me like corned, like, I forget, is it called corned beef hash? The thing with the little potatoes and the meat? I don't know. It's really fucking good. Honestly, I need to buy some of that myself. But like, he would make me that with like some bacon and some fucking like eggs. And oh my God, I remember the best omelet he ever made me. He made it with like caramelized onions and then like a nice balsamic vinegar like reduction that was sweet and savory, and he filled it with corned hash or whatever the fuck you call it, and like topped it off with avocado. It was like, oh man, like, see, his food was so fuck. I love men who flirt with their food. Like, they're the, like, thank you. I love men who feed and breed me. They're the best. And I thought his eyes truly were an amazing color. I loved his hair. I liked his mouth, even though he didn't like his teeth. It's like, I like when men have interesting teeth. Straight teeth kind of piss me off. I don't know, something about straight teeth. I don't know. And I don't know. It's just like, I enjoyed plenty of things about him, but he hated himself, and so his hatred to himself leaked out onto me, and that's why we don't say his name anymore. And he had it coming. And it's one of those things where it's like, wow, instead of just owning the fact that you were a fat guy who was like, it's like, I'm just saying, own your flaws after some point. Like, if you don't want to change it, just embrace it. Like, I'm just saying, like, I used to walk around with fucked up hair and oversized jackets and baggy pants and fucked up shoes and still have ultimate, like, Grace Kelly Jane Mansfield confidence. Why? Because I knew I was still worthy of being treated with respect. Because, you know what? I still shower, clean myself, and I don't live for other people's validation, you know? And people would treat me like shit. But guess what? I just thought to myself, okay, people can be shitty. Doesn't change the fact that I'm still gonna sit here. I'm still gonna eat my food. You can stare. That says a lot about you. I will exist as I please. And I don't know, I'm just saying, if you aren't going to change it, just embrace it. Like, for example, me, I already am aware that I'm a nut job. It's like, okay, cool. I'm already aware that I am a sex worker or have done sex work. It's like, oh, yeah, that's what I do. It's money. And I enjoy orgasms. You can't make me feel bad about that. Let's see. I have dark circles and I fucking love them, you know? It's like they're genetic, number one. Number two, I can't get rid of them. Or even if I, like, even times where I had, I thought they made, like, I think my face without dark circles is bland. I actually kind of like it. I think it adds a nice, sexy distinction. And I like it. It makes me look like a Junji Ito character. I liked when my hair used to be fucked up, like fucking Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, or like The Weeknd. I enjoyed it because I thought to myself, you know what? It's unique and it's me. I'm just saying, you don't have to, like, you know, guess what? I lost my ass. I used to be like Doja Cat thick, and now I'm Doja Cat thin. And I thought to myself, huh, all right, well, I don't got the back anymore, but you know what? It helps because I don't get catcalled anymore, or at least not as heavily, and I get to wear mini skirts because no one's gonna see shit. And I decided to like my voice even when other people didn't, because it's like, you know what? Slay. Like, fuck it. I'm on my shit, you're on your shit, do it. Like, there's plenty of things you could just, like, guess what? I have hairy knuckles. I do. Hairy as fuck. And it doesn't change the fact that I'm still gonna wear big expensive rings that these niggas can't afford and aren't confident enough to wear even if they could buy them. Because guess what? I'm awesome. And a nigga's still gonna buy me a ring and kiss my hand and treat me like a queen with my hairy knuckles and my hairy legs and my hairy nipples and my hairy pussy and my happy trail and my hairy asshole. Like, I'm just saying, you don't have to, like, hate yourself. Like, if someone hates you, that's a them issue. You just kind of gotta be like, I still got it. And mind you, confidence doesn't always have to be arrogance. Because if you see someone around always yelling about how they're a bad bitch, how they're the queen, and blah, 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 that's someone who is kind of like insecure because they think, oh, my position is always being threatened and I must defend it with my life. I'll put it this way, if you already know what you are, you don't have to announce it. Like, for example, the Queen of England, do you think she ran around all the time tweeting, I am the queen, I am the baddest bitch, bitches can't fuck with me, kill yourself, and then, like, always in Twitter, like, beefing with people who said otherwise? Or do you think she let the haters talk as she sat there as the queen enjoying her 10 times better life? I'm just saying, that could be you. You'd, like, trust me, I've always had a very nice, easy life because I was just comfortable being like, you know what? Regardless of what they think about me, I wouldn't trade lives with them. Like, I would actually, if, like, it's kind of like that song by The Weeknd. If I was you, I would cut up my wrist. Like, if I body transformed into some of these people that hated me, I would slit my wrist. It's like, oh, do I, like, people who, like, yeah, I recently had to end a friendship with a girl, and it's like, okay, well, you fucked a drug dealer, and he wasn't even spending money on you, so uh yeah, now you're a single mom. I don't know what you, and you are friends with crackheads, and you spend all day harassing people on social media being a cunt. I don't know what you expected. It's like, yeah, no wonder people don't like you, girl, because instead of just being like, I'm like, yeah, that's self-hate in its own form, to be like, I'm gonna fucking get impregnated by this terrible dude who is just openly a nightmare. Like, come on now. And I don't know, there's some other ways of self-hatred. Like, my buddy Seamus, funny enough, he, like, I have had to tell him, like, he'll run a comedy show and then you'll see him be like, I've talked to him and he'll be like, comics don't want to listen to me. Da, 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 da. And I have to tell him, it's like, you can't just gently suggest it. You have to be like, you are doing this. This is the premise of the show. If you don't, you're fired. Because if you're running a comedy show and you're trying to have a suggestions bucket so that when people flounder, they can think of things to say, they can pull it and can't think of things, they pull out a note, then I'll put it to you like this. No one would benefit from like, absolutely nobody would fucking benefit from, like, I'll put it this way. Some comedians were like, oh no, I don't need that, I don't need that, I refuse. It's like, don't refuse, nigga. Just simply put the bucket on the table so that even if they flounder in the moment, they can still pull something from the bucket and try to make an effort. But Seamus didn't do that and the comedian didn't do that. So you know what happened? A lot of very terrible sex jokes on stage that were not clever at all. Like a dating show where the first question asked before your name, interests, hobbies, ideal date, anything was, what are your kinks? Do you like anal? How soon does it can how many dates does it take before you put out? And then the comedian gets booed off stage. And then I have to tell Seamus, it's like, yeah, nigga, you can't, like, why are you half-assing your own shit? And then complaining that it's low quality because you don't even like yourself and your fucking art enough to want it to be high quality and to demand that. If you refuse to believe you are deserving of better, you are never going to get better. You have to be a hard ass. Like, how do I put this? If you go into a dress shop to get a dress made in a specific style, and you are fine when the lady comes out the back with a fabric that is not at all what you envisioned, then cool, you're gonna get a shitty dress that you don't love and put a bunch of money and effort into, and then you're gonna be resentful and hate your life. Yeah, nigga, because you didn't like yourself enough to be like, no, I don't want that color. I said specifically periwinkle, this is mauve. I said silk, this is chiffon. Like, you have to come on now. Like my ex homegirl, it's like sometimes I wish I could just I want to hit her up again and just be like, girl, you need to work on your self-esteem, because it's like, girl, why are you trying to, like, I'll put it this way, she needed to like herself more. Because I remember I let her know that she was a gorgeous fucking girl. And that, like, I set her up with a date with one of my friends. I told her, wear your natural hair. He's going to love it. I told her, wear, like, a cute little dress or, like, a skirt. You know, show off them, like, you know, show it off and, like, some cute jewelry. But you know what she did? She talked herself out of wearing her natural hair and straightened it. And it came out bad because it was a rainy day. And then, like, the guy I set her up with, he was shocked and he also didn't like it, but he also was an asshole who also hated himself. And there's more I can say about him, but I don't know, I'll just say it. With her, like, she's the type of girl where you can tell her she's worthy of fine dining, but she will accept it if a man takes her out to pizza and chicken wings at a shitty place, even if when she knows she hates food like that. And it's like, that's just self-hatred. My friend Max, who I set her up with, ex-friend, obviously, because he's a dick and stupid as fuck. He kept fucking random twos and fours and sixes in the back of cars or in his apartment, and I would let him know. It's like, okay, do you want quality or do you want quantity? Which do you think looks better? A man who fucks 300 ones, or like a guy who has a nice enough life and loves himself and works on himself, and every once in a while he finds an amazing 10 or even an 8 at absolute worst, and he dates them, fucks them, whatever, and he's not, like, I'm just saying, do you want to be known as the dude who, like, fucks trailer trash all the time because he doesn't like himself and doesn't think he's actually worthy of getting a hot girl's attention? Or do you want to be the guy who keeps hating himself with his body dysmorphia and projecting it onto others, and you actually have sex with girls who are cute and like supermodels? I'm just saying, because it's better to be the dude who's been with like 4 different supermodels than the dude who's been with like 100 different Amy Schumers. And he was like, oh shit, you're right. Also, confidence is key, because hey, while we're on the topic, Amy Schumer has a big fucking career. And she got that shit off of stealing jokes and being ugly. I don't know how she did it, but she did it. I'm just saying that, like, so if you're like, I don't like my jokes, it's okay. You're probably a lot more attractive than Amy Schumer and a lot more funny than Amy Schumer, but you just need Amy Schumer confidence of like, yes, these are my jokes and they're amazing. Even Amy Schumer's jokes that she does write, they're fucking terrible. Like, I'm just saying, you need to be confident. You know why we like Rebel Wilson when she was a fat Amy in Pitch Perfect? Is because she embraced that she was fat and she said, I'm not gonna let bitches make me feel bad about it. And so she did that shit. Chris Farley, that nigga was insanely well loved, even though he did fall into binge eating and cocaine and stuff because he needed to realize that he could be funny without the alcohol and substances. So I've even told comedians, it's like, don't rely on alcohol or whatever to get funny, because then you'll only train yourself how to do it when you're wasted instead of sober. And you'll never truly grow, and self hate and resentment can grow that way. And, I try my best because it's like, I'm just saying, you will hinder your life hating yourself and hating yourself. Like, I'm just saying, like, you don't need to do it. Please. I beg you. I don't care how busted you think you are. There's someone out there who looks worse than you, but they bet on themselves. And so you know what happened? They have a fucking happy marriage, like a good husband or a good wife. They have a job that they love. They have people who truly care for them because they know when to cut people off, because they know that they'll make new friends and that they also love their own company anyway. They actually try. I'm just saying, please. Like, I would have killed myself at age fucking like 12 or 13 if I truly thought that it was gonna be nothing but bullying and hell for the rest of my life. But I knew I was meant for greater things. And I don't know, seeing people squander potential always upsets me so bad. And I want that to be you. Okay? Like, hell, I'm working on it too. Don't worry, you're not alone. Trust me. Even today, I'm probably gonna tell myself, hey, like, you can fucking screenwrite. You know you have the abilities, just do it. And I'm gonna practice things. I'm just saying. Alright, I think that's enough out of me. I'm tired. Alright, it's officially 6:32. Nice. Alright, TTY, y'all.